Hello everyone, welcome back to the episode 3 of our JavaScript machine coding round interview series, where we are trying to solve three area of JavaScript, which is basically the first one is the core logic, next one is the async behavior of JavaScript, and third one is the polyfills. Okay, and we are try to cover the common question asked by most top service-based IT companies. So yeah, let's start with our second installment, where our first question will be the related to the core logic. So for today, the first question is, we quickly go to our first question of the day. Is, by the way, it's morning 5 a.m. So it's quite a little bit good for the developers like us to work. Yes. So our problem one is first non-repeating character. So first non-repeating character, the problem is we give you a string and you have to return the first non-repeating character only once. So if our input is example, if our input is stress, like this, okay, so here first non-repeating character is what? Yes, you guess right, it's output is T, because T is the first non-repeating. S is the repeating 3 times, but T is only repeating 1 times, R 1 times, E 1 times. So our output will be string T. So this is the output. So we have to make a program to solve this one. Okay. Now, before jumping to the actual code, let's write the pseudocode. What we're trying to solve over here is, so first what will we do? We will be create empty frequency map. Okay, we will create an empty frequency map, then count we will count occurrence of each character, okay, one by one, by looping. So loop string again. So first loop is to count the occurrence of each element, each word, and then next one is to figure out among these word occurrences the most, okay, the first occurrence. So then we start loop again and then return the first char with frequency 1, okay. Then what you have to do, if you found no one, return null. So if you don't find anything, then we have to return null. Fine, so far so good. Now, sorry, this is our pseudocode. So pause it, try to solve by yourself, and then come back. Fine. Now let's jump to the problem solving. So first we write our function, main function. So function is first non char, first non-repeating char str. First is the first non-repeating char. So here what will we do? We create first a constant to hold the frequency, as we did partially in our last episode. To hold any fresh result, we create a constant to hold that one. Okay, now for let char of str. So now we're using the modern JavaScript, and how this works I already explained in the previous episode. So if you don't still know, pause it, go to the previous episode, watch it. You will get the information how it's working and why we are using off instead of in or like that. Okay, so frequency and of CH, if the frequency of CH, then this is our old technique used in the previous episode as well, to grab the occurrence of element. It is very handy. So okay, now we get the frequency of every element. Okay, of each every element. Now what we have to do, we have to loop again. So if, and we loop again. So whenever you're trying to solve an equation, try to avoid nested loop, because nested loop is very you can say non-performance, pushing to the non-performance barrier. So always try to use two different loop in parallel, good, but not try to use any nested loop. Avoid if you can. So, and now we finally got our result, and finally return null. Now time to see the result. So what will you do? Log first not in character. Let's set our. Now we get the answer as T. Okay. So we are get our first character. Now this is common in TCS and Infosys round. Okay, this type of questions. So we are done with our first question. Let's jump in our next question, which is touching the async simulation. Okay, so for the async simulation, we don't need this one, because the question we are targeting for the async is the question we are targeting today for async. It's interesting one. It's about red light, green light, blue light. Red light, green light, yellow light in a sequence manner. So it is the async simulation problem to async simulation, and the problem is traffic light simulation, where it starts with green, then go to yellow after some second, and then go to red after some second, and then again go back to green, and then stop. And also we are targeting that if multiple requests come, for example user clicks 2 times, then we have to disregard the other clicks, and we still focus on the first execution of the function. Okay, now so this is our problem. Now let's go to the problem statement. What we have to do over here is, first let's break down the problem. We'll start with green, then we after 3 seconds go to yellow, after 2 seconds it's become red, then after 4 seconds this became green again, and then stop, and then it will become stop, then stop. This is the flow of the of our program, and the output will be first is green, green light will on, then yellow light, then red light, then a green light again, and then the our traffic light sequence completed. Okay, this is the flow. Fine. So this question is very important. This test async sequence and real world simulation problems. So, and this is the most common question asked by any of top IT service company. So this is very interesting questions to solve. So now it's time to our pseudocode. What we're doing step by step. Let's jot down. We wait. There is a custom wait function. This returns what? Promise. Return a promise. Wait function. And then our async function main is traffic light, what this will do? This will print green, wait for 3 seconds, print yellow, wait for 2 seconds, print red, wait for 4 seconds, and then again print green, and then print this will not print by just writing the sequence only. We will do in the browser and see in the how it's behaving in the visual manner. Okay, now time to jump in the coding part. Okay, so to demonstrate this, I had make a separate setup, not this JS player tool. I am switching to Visual Studio setup. Hope you are able to see where there is a yes. Now I already write the basic JavaScript and style to show. In this section, when we click this one, currently it's doing nothing. When we click this button, the sequence will start red, yellow, green, and stop. Okay, so let's start with our first. This is the place where we have to write our code. Okay, so here, so what we will do first, we have to make our first we have to make our wait function. So it's taking a millisecond as input. Now in this I had installed the Go Pilot, so this is suggesting me the code, so just go with them. So as you can see, this is returning a new promise, resolve, and set timeout. So resolve after this millisecond, and this is a custom wait function, you can say. Now our custom wait function is ready. We had to write our custom wait function. Now we also have to track that if our current function traffic light is running, that you requested or click the button again, we have to disregard that request. Okay, so for that we need to have one global flag. So let this flag will be is running and make it this to false, or to lock the flag. It's a locking flag basically, and this is currently false. And now we will go and write our code logics to run the traffic light. So if is running, as then what you have to do, if is running console.log, this traffic light sequence is already running, and we have to return from here. No need to go further in the code. Okay, now if it's not running, it is false, it will not go in that if condition, and then it will make it to true. And then what we will do, set light to make it first green, then okay, you call the function to display on the browser, and then wait for 3 milliseconds. Wait for sometime notorious. I don't want your suggestion, dude. Wait for 3000 millisecond, and then time to console.log yellow, set light to yellow, and wait for 2000 millisecond. 2000 millisecond. Again, our third one is red, which is, and wait for how many second? 4000 millisecond, and then it will become green. So this is the traffic light. Go back to green. So set light green, and then what you have to do, our sequence is completed, set up flag sequence completed, and then is running to false. So this is the code to trigger and run the sequence of traffic light. Now save this one. I already created an HTML here to simulate the 3 light and grabbing the elements over here. Here we are just targeting our click function. So if you grab our click function, now go to the browser and start the traffic light. So this is green initial, after 3 second yellow, after 4 second red, after green again, and stop. Green, yellow, red, after 4 second green again, and then stop. So this is how it's working, right? So in this way you can demonstrate a traffic light. Now done with our second question of the day, which is the question related to the async behavior of JavaScript. Variations, if we talk about the variations, so how different kind of variation we can handle over here is like change the sequence, blink the yellow for 1 second only, make the repetition infinite sequence, keep it in running loop. Currently it is stopping over here, but I want to this in a loop. Okay, so that might be another follow-up question. So and then he might ask that add a extra button that will stop the sequence. For example, it's controlling add more button over here, so stop the traffic light or terminate the traffic light sequence while it is running. Okay, this is the third, and so yeah, you can play around with these three variation. Fine. Now let's go to our third and last question of the day, which is polyfill problem. So what is the problem we are targeting today for the polyfill? It's Array.filter. In the last step, in the last episode, we write the polyfill for Array.map. Now we are targeting Array.filter. Okay. So the problem is number 3. Polyfill for Array.filter. Okay. Polyfill for Array.filter, right? And this is a frequency. This is frequently asked in many IT companies. So we are just targeting the only those questions which are most common and most frequently asked by top IT companies. Okay, so this is very helpful for us to prepare for our future interviews. Okay, fine. Now, this is the polyfill. So no input, no output, nothing. We know what a filter do. Then if you don't know, no worries. Filter basically run a callback condition on every element of the array, and if it's satisfied, it's return that element. Okay, so this is the in a short. If you want to go deeper into that, just pause it and go to the filter section in the MDN or any of the browser and come back. Okay, so we know how to write polyfills. I already described in my last episode. So to make a polyfill, we have to make our polyfill on the prototype of that object, array object. Okay, so how we write to the code? We write the code like this: the array dot prototype dot my filter, then function like this. This is how we write our filtered prototype. This is our custom function. This is the native, and this is our custom one. So we write to make a polyfill. We always write on the prototype of the object, main object. So this is the pseudocode, you can say, or small example. So now delete this one over here. Now let's jump into the coding part. Now, so what we do? We will do array dot prototype dot. It is our custom function, filter function. Filter. Now you have to assign our function, the custom functions for this polyfill, filter polyfill. So write function. It will take input as a callback, CB callback, short form of the callback, and now it always return a new array. It does not manipulate the original array. Okay, so if we pass array A, then it will don't manipulate or change anything inside the array A. It will create a fresh array and then push the result into that array, and then it return that array only. Okay, so keep this in mind. So let's create one result array, empty array, to hold the result. Now if let I is equal to 0, I less than this dot length I plus plus. Again, what is this? This is your original array or the context in which you are running your filter function. So keep this in mind that don't confuse with this. What is this doing over here? Is the context in which you are running, right? I already described this one also in my previous episode. Just go in that episode and just watch it, and you will get what this means, what this is doing over here. So this dot length, and if this dot has on to check if slot is not empty or it is not any falsy value, then now it is checking that what the callback we applied is satisfying the true condition. This dot I, and what is required, the each and every element, the index, and the array itself, which is this over here in our case. And then if it's true, the what the logic apply on element is true, then push the result inside the array, our new array. So this dot I. Okay, so far so good. And now in the last, return the result. Fine. This is the implementation of custom for loop. Custom my filter, custom filter. Okay. So here we can also add a check that if before jumping into the code, that if array dot is not, if this is not array, we are applying on is something like object or any other object, or it's not an array, then this new throw new error, something like this. Okay, otherwise go further. Now time to call this function. So create one array of one, two, two. Now we are making it empty, and 4 to check if this is working or not. Now we have to find the even number only. Okay. So if this condition satisfied for the even number, then this will return only the even number. So array dot now my filter, just we created, right? To filter out the even number, we just use the mod operator over here. Mod2 equal to 0. If the output is 0, mod2 is 0 means it is an even number. Now log events. What did I type over here? Should be 4. Okay. This happens while doing live coding. It's very common. So now we get the result, you see, and also disregard this blank space over here. So 2 and 4, fine. And this is how we get our first get our output. So keep it in mind while you are solving. There are 4 major things you need to consider. You must skip miss indices. So if this is one is the missed indices, don't run any loop or any condition over here. Okay, fine. So you must have to track this one, otherwise you will get undefined and you will get like this undefined and something unwanted result. So first one. Second one, don't mutate the original array. This is the original array, you don't mutate this one. Third, callback always receive these 3. Always pass the callback these 3. Doesn't matter what you are using or not, you have to pass these 3 in the callback. Fine. And this complete the episode 3 of our JavaScript machine coding round. So today we covered first non-repeating character. Next one was the traffic light simulation in UI, and third one was the polyfill for the filter function. So array filter function. So hope you enjoy this episode. So if you learned something today, give the video a like, comment your solution, and subscribe for the episode number 4. We are on the 3, and now coding is not just a skill, brother. This is a hobby. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye.